couple hours of Silent Hill F are slow, and I don't really know if it controls particularly well, but I am so in, they had to kind of pull me away from the controller. For context, I really enjoy survival horror, but I have never played a Silent Hill game, and actually I am going to rectify that as soon as I get home. If you want impressions of Silent Hill F from someone who is a Silent Hill enjoyer and also played the same build I did, albeit about a month ago, go read Jess's stuff. It's on the website right now. Very good. When I say it's slow, it is. There is no getting around that. However, it is very intentional on how slow that is. It is a girl who is just living her life in a small town, and she does not have the best home life.
Good morning.
But one of the first things you actually see in the game is the fact that her father is an alcoholic. He's very abusive. You get to read her journal. You find out about how she is so angry at her mother because her mother is so timid, and yes, she bears the brunt of a lot of the abuse, but doesn't really do much to protect her younger daughter. The person who does protect the younger daughter, who is the playable character Hinako, is her elder sister. So it is already laying out all of these plot threads, these stories that I'm immediately very interested in. I want to know what the hell the dad's deal is, and I want to know why one daughter got preferential treatment and the other one didn't. And I think that's why I don't mind that the opening was so slow. It takes its time. It is very show, don't tell, I would say. Although it does tell in a lot of ways. There is a journal, and I think I'm inherently a very nosy person, and so if you give me a journal to read, I might just do that. But if it's in-game, then I will definitely do that. And the main character chronicles a lot of her thoughts, and she kind of reveals a lot about herself in that way, about herself, her family, and other characters that you interact with. Because another core part of it, the very first thing you see in the game is the fact that she is playing with a doll, and she is kind of mocking herself. She's talking about the fact that no one likes her because she is friends with boys. And later on, as you go through, there are these puzzles and little pieces of, I assume, kind of her psyche, her insecurities are coming out because they don't like you because you're ugly, or that you play with boys, or the fact that, you know, it's all the things that you hope your friends are never saying about you. These are internalized into her, and they kind of come out as this horror. It is so interesting. The way I think the game has a lot more friction, and I don't think it's particularly good. And I wonder if this is why there was the whole conversation about it potentially being a Souls-like, is she's a schoolgirl. She's not, you know, gonna be able to really, I don't know, she's not doing backflips off the mannequin things that are haunting the town, right? The main thing you do at the very beginning is dodge, maybe pick up a pipe and just whack some mannequins with it at the very beginning. And I would say this is where I definitely felt the most friction. It's tough to get the timing right, and sometimes it doesn't necessarily feel like you really nail it. Also, I guess, you know, the mannequins, so they just don't kind of really react sometimes when you hit them, and you don't really get that much feedback. And then sometimes they just kind of keep coming at you. And so honestly, at that point, I just started to run away. Also, in terms of navigation, the town that you're in is labyrinthine. It is full of fog. There is this awful fauna that's just growing. It's this violent red color, and you're running away from it at the very beginning of the game. It's blocking off certain places you can go. So the whole town is like this labyrinth. And even though you have a map, you just do feel like you're getting lost in the fog, running away from creatures that are following you. And sometimes it can be very, very easy to miss certain things, like maybe particular places you can hide and go into, or the fact that there's a door there and you're like, oh, that door looks like it would open, it doesn't. And sometimes in terms of movement, I would get kind of like jammed up against the wall and just be, you know, this is me, guess I'll die. So there are these parts of the game that are super full of friction for me as a player. However, I am so intrigued by it, and I like the fact that I'm getting lost. Like, there's a whole thing where you're getting lost in, I believe it's a rice field. But I like that because the game is also about, you know, she says to herself, like, am I going insane? Is this insanity? And so I kind of think it works. Maybe that's just me being overly forgiving because I'm really drawn into the premise. But like I said, it's my first Silent Hill game. So we've got some new gameplay too. That's what you've been watching this whole time. And for more, stay tuned to GameSpot.